Today on the channel, we unlock the vault with Kenny Omega, Ring of Honor, AEW Vault exclusive, 1 of 5,000.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Ring of Honor 1 of 5,000 Jazzwares Vault exclusives. And today, we've got Kenny Omega. But for all your Kenny Omega and Vault needs, man, you got to hit up the Vault. Head over to the Jazzwares Vault. They got all kinds of stuff. There's not wrestling, Star Wars, Call of Duty, Fortnite. The list goes on and on. So if you're after some of this stuff, make sure you're regularly checking the Vault website for all these kind of things. And of course, we'll talk about it in the toy news. I was lucky enough to get these sent early to me from the Jazzwares team. Big shout out to the team over there. Jeremy and the boys over there sending me early advance copies of these. And hopefully you guys got yours off the Vault website. Of course, Wednesday this week as I am filming this. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And we're going to start off with a little shipping container. Very Super 7-like here, but we do get a little shipping container right here. Little Kenny Omega, early Kenny Omega. You could almost have it as like, I was going to say NXT, but I guess it was FCW, wasn't it, back when he was there? You could almost put that in there if you wanted to. We got Kenny on the sides, a little wraparound on the packaging, which is always cool. Ring of Honor logo at the top, and it does seem smart to me to go through the Vault for Ring of Honor. I don't know how well Ring of Honor would do at retail. I just don't think there's a big enough fan base for Ring of Honor to really move through the pegs at Walmart and Targets of the world. I just don't think it's going to happen, especially with some of these early career versions of some of these characters. Might make it even tougher to do. So I think the Vault is the perfect place. It's a place for collectors, and we can see that right here with the shipper box. Give the old see you later. A little extra protection on these. Speaking of protection, you got more protection on this. So these are very well taken care of, and once again, it's collector driven here, especially the 1 of 5,000 on this. But you got the Ring of Honor logo at the top. Same image of Kenny Omega as well. Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega on the side, number 2 in the line here for those keeping track at home. Ring of Honor on the side, Kenny Omega, Ring of Honor. Then on the back, Kenny Omega, once again, nothing really going on. And I was a little confused at first how you get out of the package, but it's an old school slipcase. Old school slipcase. Give it the old see you later. Off to the side. That's the no-look pass. That's what that is. That's the little Dennis Johnson to Larry Bird is what that is at the end of the day. But looking good right here. Look at that. Very interesting packaging design. Definitely different. Once again, not sold in stores, so you don't need peg hooks, things like that. It is what it is. However, I can see some collectors that are min-on-card collectors saying, how do I hang this on the wall exactly? So I'm not sure. You'll have to figure that out on your own as I'm going to open this up, as you guys do know. But big window box going on the front. You got extra hands. You got an extra head. You got a very plain Jane figure, though, and that's Kenny Omega back in the day, I guess. So very, very plain Jane here. Ring of Honor, Kenny Omega. You do got the 1 of 5,000 sticker, once again, right on the front. Vault exclusive. Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega. Nothing on the back, no blurb, no tail of tape, nothing, no depiction of a date where this is from, anything like that. It's just straight up, I guess, Ring of Honor Kenny Omega is what we got going on right here. And I'm going to try to figure out how do I get this out of the package now. Got to figure it out. So it does pull on the sides, so, okay. Can I just yank this through? Yes, I can. There you go. So you just pull it right through like so. And then you give it the old sky hook. Oh, the dreaded sky hook. Always lethal, as we do know. But there it is, Kenny Omega Plastic Prison. Gonna pop these hands out, pop everything out. Now, this being a Ring of Honor line, you can basically say, hey, this goes along with our AEW lines, things like that, because it's the same figure, same body style, same everything. Get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes. They're not starting new figures. They're not starting a new way to do things, anything like that. See you later. Goodbye. It is stuff that will be able to go with your normal AEW Unrivaled, Unmatched, things like that. Now, we do get a lot of hands with this Kenny Omega, which I think is pretty cool. Of course, we got 1 Fist of Fury, and we got a Fist of Fury out of the package. So we're here for the 2 Fists of Fury. We do got some interesting hands here. You do got two splayed out handshaking hands, whatever you want to call them. We do have those. We've seen those before as well. And then we got the old Freebird hands here. He's got a little bit of that. He's got a little of the badger claw going on. So we got two of these. Throwback to the old Freebird days, of course, but we do have those. So these are new hands. This is something different. And like I said, you can mix and match these with any of your AEW figures if you so please. But now we're going to dive into old Kenny Omega. Winnipeg, Canada's favorite son. You guys tell me. I'm guessing Jericho, maybe. But Jericho's up and down, as we do know. So maybe it is Kenny Omega. But I'm going to assume Jericho for sure. But we do got Omega out of the package. He's got the teeth gritting right there. He's got that longer, blonde, curly hair going on. Very interesting. He looks a little angry on the head out of the package for sure. Got the blue eyes going against that blonde hair, looking nice. Teeth showing. Now, the second head, a lot more stoic. A lot more stoic, blue eyes, same hairdo going on. Boy, I don't know how many people remember Kenny Omega way back in the day like this. I could see some people being confused, of course, doing the head test with them. But when I look at it, especially the stoic one, it really does look like Kenny Omega from back then to me. So it does look good. I don't really have any issues with this head. And it's cool to kind of get a Legends figure in a lot of ways of Kenny Omega. It's like an early edition Legends figure is what it kind of feels like, which is pretty cool, as all things considered here. He is throwing up the peace sign, but the peace sign, as we know, can turn deadly. As you can turn it from here into the eye poke, right into the eyes. You can end that fight right away, and that's what Kenny Omega is going to do if he needs to. But we do get those hands there, and we talked about the fisted hand on the other side. So looking good in the old hands department here, of course, for Kenny Omega. Articulation, arms do go around, bicep cut. Double jointed elbows, not pinless on these. Not pinless on these. You got white wrist tape, hands removable, back forth, side to side. Hula hoop at the top, traditional waist. Big old Omega splits if you do need them. Legs do go up. Thigh cut, double jointed knees. Boot cut, ankles up, down, side to side. Very tight in the ankles. I do like that, though. A nice tight feel to those. Look really, really good. Of course, I imagine he will fit on a ringside. Of course, Jazzware stand. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Fits perfectly right there, so no issues with that. But looking pretty good. He's got the black elbow pads, black knee pads, black trunks. Then you got some crazy writing. I do see an Omega symbol back there, though. So I'm guessing this just says Kenny Omega. You guys tell me, of course. I do like the black and blue attack and the boots and the kick pads. He's got Asics on it. Are those Asics down here? I'm not sure. But it does look good. However, this is a very plain Jane figure. Of course, we've seen Kenny Omega in a lot of different crazy outfits in the AEW lines. We've seen Supreme figures. This is about as bare bones as it gets, and I think that's why it's a, Vault exclusive, a little bit more limited than other things. I think it makes a lot of sense, because this isn't going to be for everybody, but the hardcore, the collector fan base out there, that's who it's for, and that's why the Vault is a perfect place for something like this. As I say, it does fit on there. A good figure, though. Is it great? No, it's not the best Kenny Omega figure by any means. I enjoy his Supreme figure. Probably the Walmart Supreme is probably my favorite of the bunch, actually. It's a good figure, and it does fill a hole. It is a cool thing. It's just different, and it's not going to be for everybody. And once again, I'm a broken record, but that's why people go to the Vault for things like this. It's not for everybody. It's for the hardcore fans. It's for the collectors. That's why you go there for things like this. But, of course, we do have Kenny Omega, one of his Supremes here. I just grabbed it. Kind of a ring gear Supreme, I guess we'll call it. I'm going to stick him on a stand real quick. Put these guys side by side. So you got young and old Kenny. What could this Kenny tell this one, and what could this one tell this one if they could go back in time? If they could switch bodies? Oh, who knows? Who knows? But Kenny Omega looking pretty good for what it is. I'm here for more Ring of Honor characters. I would love to see this line go fairly deep. There's a lot of talent they can dig into. We know the Briscoes are coming eventually. Bryan Danielson is coming eventually from this line as well. I would assume we'll get some more of the characters. I'm sure Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, I think they even mentioned those guys previously, if I'm not mistaken. We could see the Kingdom. We could see a lot of different characters from the AEW roster in throwback or modern-day Ring of Honor attires. Maybe an Athena, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes from the Vault. So far, I'm very excited about the Vault because I like that they just gave us 3 figures to start. Now, when will our next 3 figures be? Will it be next month? Will it be next quarter? That remains to be seen, but I wouldn't mind just 1 figure every month. I think that would be really fun. I think the fan base would like that if it's just 1 figure every single month. It'd almost go back to like the G.I. Joe subscription service back in the day if you were around for the 25th anniversary time frame. I would like something like that. We'll see what it nets out. We'll see what happens here. But for the first Ring of Honor figure that I've opened up so far, Kenny Omega, hey, I'm here for it. But are you here for it? Did you pick this up? Did you pass? Did you long game? Did you know game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, you guys know we got 2 YouTube channels. Make sure you do subscribe to both of those channels. We got content every single day over there. Don't forget about Patreon for early access to both YouTube channel videos, bonus stuff, and your best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget Amazon, Barnes & Noble, my book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series. Almost 700 pages, if you can believe it, all in this book right here. So check it out. Thank you guys and gals that have supported. If you want an autograph edition, hit me up on social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Kenny Omega, Ring of Honor, and The Vault, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.